How y'all doing? Welcome back to During Business Hour. My name's Chris. This is Eric. Just so you know, cameras are here today. We're not going to be staring at you all day. Camera difficulty. Last episode with camera difficulty. Guaranteed.
New cameras.
New cameras coming in tomorrow. Don't got to deal with it. A little bit of an expense on you, boy. My gift to you, the viewer. Today, so as you know, all kinds of shit is popping off. But I think by far one of the best is the Amber Heard monstrosity.
The commercial?
Yeah.
I only read the outrage on Twitter. I didn't actually watch the horrifyingly offensive to her
L'Oreal
commercial.
Paris. Where is it? Is it the...
It was the MTV The Music Awards that are going on today. So maybe not a commercial, but something they did on the show. Astronaut Johnny Depp surprise appearance. That sounds like it.
So the news today is Johnny Depp makes a surprise appearance or cameo as the Moon Man at the 2022 VMAs. Mm-hmm. So apparently he made his first public appearance at the Music Awards. I can't understand who let him do this. So for all of you who don't know, after Lizzo and Fergie wrapped up the show's opening performance, the Moon Man rose above the stage. A visitor split apart to reveal a digital version of Johnny Depp's face. Hey, you know what? Depp said, I needed the work. I just wanted you guys to know that I'm available for birthdays, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, weddings, makes, and any old thing you need. The statement was most likely a reference to Depp's career trajectory since he was embroiled in a legal battle with Heard in 2019. Sued, you know the bullshit. Heard's legal team countersued, did all their thing, lost. It's funny that he allowed the likeness at such an act for what, 2-3 million he made? Mm-hmm. Because it looks like... where's a better picture of it? If you can see here, it looks like...
the visor flipped open. They had a little TV inside that Johnny Depp's face was on, you know?
It looks like he got paid to be able to
use his likeness, do a little line.
Yeah. So I thought it was a good dig.
What's the point of it, though? Just a little cameo? Little pop-up?
So I would say it's probably the reason being... is that they want to blow smoke up the incident, like bring rise to it, make it more trending again. And if they make it trending,
it's got us talking about it. So it's doing
got
its
us
job.
Talking about it. So now he's probably about to drop some
movie announcement, rap career,
whatever. Well, he's more of a rock star. He's more like Mick Jagger meets Pirates of the Caribbean. And then they had Mick Jagger.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, I know. But it's real funny that he's like pouring salt on the wound. I wish I could be wherever Amber Heard is right now as she shits the bed again oh my God, he got the VMAs. Oh, Daddy's at the VMAs. I could have been at the VMAs. It's pretty funny. You know, we've got leaked iPhone 14, show radical designs, new colors. Nobody gives a shit. What is it? Xbox Game Pass.
The design's not even radical. I don't even think the design's that radical.
They're going more fancy colors, larger lenses under the screen.
They did that with the XR, you know, the colors anyway.
No, not like this. It's like more metallics and stuff and neons, which is, in my opinion, it's just a cash grab. That's all it is.
Oh, they got neon though. Mm-hmm. They got so the iPhone is just very firmly a designer product now. It's not even a cell phone.
Radical shift in design. So lower lenses.
Which they've needed. Yeah. Those suckers stick.
They do.
Out.
If you don't know, now you know. It's protruding. Anytime you catch something, you could...
Or sliding it on any counter.
I could literally take a chunk of wood out with this sound. That's just the lenses rubbing on the wood. For those of you on our audio listeners, I don't know where you came from, but we appreciate it. This is what it sounds like. That is 3 sapphire lenses rubbing on a piece of veneer on the edge of a conference table. not fun, but Apple leaks this shit on their own just to get hype. Expected to have a bigger camera, larger style phones. Really, all they did was take a waterproof life-proof case, and then put components inside of it.
And then built the phone inside
of a waterproof case. Because it looks like one of the cases you would put over an iPhone case, which reduces the lenses, makes it flush with the cameras on the front screen, all waterproof, sealed.
They just built it on the metal sheet, didn't add a frame, and then built the case into it. Well, that's what was the Samsung Actives?
They're going to get a lot of, that was the S8 Active, S7, S6 Active. Built S5 Active was the best. S4 was the one that Lil Wayne poured champagne or whatever on, which was pretty crazy. Did you see that Afghanistan has been flooding or not? Wow. Why'd I say Afghanistan?
Afghanistan was in the news. They're doing a curfew because of the war in Ukraine. And the floods somewhere did flood. I'm trying to remember
It is floods in Pakistan.
Yeah.
So the monsoon season does not stop.
A climate emergency. This is the worst it's ever been.
Dude, over 100 people dead in the last 3 days. It is crazy. Watch this.
I was reading that the 100 is just the last 24 hours.
There's something they were saying declared. Let me change.
August 26, 2020.
Excuse me. That's some insanity.
You haven't seen nothing yet. I was doing a reel from those of you who followed over from the reels.
22.
Where's ground level and all that? 20 feet down?
About 30 feet down.
God.
In 220 million Pakistan, devastating floods have affected at least 33 million people. Yes, you hear right, 33 million.
But so my point is, this is one giant scaffolding that was built into a tunnel.
This
that
is
they were
industrial scaffolding. This shit's got to be bolted down.
Tens of thousands of pounds.
Just
that
sliding
flood
10 feet a second.
All of that. All of it. Where are the people? They haven't all evacuated because Pakistan is such a country of this is home. This is where we're at. For wars, they won't move. You think natural disasters are going to move? Where are all the people?
Climbing.
There's a lot recording. There goes the people.
Unprecedented and the largest humanitarian catastrophe of this decade, the floods were.
There's videos of bodies that have just washed ashore.
Pakistan is currently experiencing its 8th monsoon cycle, when the nation typically only experiences 3 to 4.
And here's the water catching up to whatever was already
The shockingly
rushing.
high proportions of super flood torrents. With 23 districts
This is
deemed
Friday.
That's all
disaster hit.
fucking rocks and mud and shit flying through. Oh my
784%
god.
more rainfall this month than the average
So
August
then
rainfall.
there's mudslides and rock slides that are causing from it, shifting the ground, shifting the earth. It's terraforming.
You have
This is all climate change. Climate change doesn't have to be affected by global climate, ozone, bullshit, microwaves. The earth is going to change forever. You can't stop it. We're not going to sit here and own this house forever. We're taking a risk at buying whatever land we're at. Even though it wasn't owned by anybody in the first place, migration should still be a thing. It's my opinion. Point being, doesn't matter where you are, it's never going to stay the same. You have to calculate the odds.
You have to hope it doesn't happen in your life.
You have to hope. But if you have 3 to 4 monsoons a season or a year and not expect that, oh shit, it's going to get worse over time, the earth is a cruel bitch. Nature is horrible. It is meant to kill, recycle. And that's my opinion. I'm going to say it's not scientifically proven.
The earth is a rock flying through space. It doesn't give a fuck about what's happening on it.
I saw a thing from Neil deGrasse Tyson that said, I don't know if I believe this, that if you were a god or an entity and you came across the earth, from the highest peak to the lowest point is about 8 to 13 miles. So if somebody's hand grabbed it like a marble, it would be smoother than any cue ball or marble ever machine made by man to the feel.
per the scale of
a normal person picking up the earth like a marble. Mm-hmm. It would be smoother because it wouldn't have any, even as high as Kilimanjaro and Mount Everest and all that.
The difference per the depth and size of the actual thing is minuscule. It's nothing. Yeah. It's a scratch on my cell phone screen is going to be more of a difference.
Yeah. So it'd be higher if we were in relation to the size to humanity. Mm-hmm. So that really fucked me up one night. I just kept thinking about it. And like, imagine eternity from the Marvel movies, or because they downsized it for Thor Love and Thunder, which I finally bootlegged the other day. Really, I just VPN'd it for Disney.
Different region.
Basically, because it's releasing in Disney Plus next week. And so it wasn't a bad movie, like they said. It was a good storyline. They shot it pretty shitty because Taika Waititi is now screwing one of the actors, gave her way more. I don't know if you saw that. He's in a polygamy relationship. So he's screwing one of the actors, married polyamorous, yeah. And gave her way too much screen time and action scenes, and made her way too much part of the show when he should have killed her off in the beginning. Made it more tense. And all of a sudden it's like, no, they're not dying. Oh, well, I thought they were supposed to die. Now they're fighting back and they're like an integral part of the scene and they have the power weapon the entire time. Ugh, really weird. But it really went to show the scale of things when looking at that being eternity, and how if they can control eternity, the universe, goes back to Neil deGrasse Tyson, and how that marble, how dense to a being that large would the earth be? Is it something they can just crumble like cookie dough? Or is it something stronger?
Liquid center. It'd be like a gusher or something.
Exactly.
A Skittle gusher hybrid.
A jawbreaker with a gooey center. Could you imagine somebody just randomly coming up in our universe and just going...
Well, if you had that, you'd feel it, and then you'd like
we wouldn't really feel it. We'd all just be flying in space as our skin peeled off.
I was going to say the air would fly off the planet.
Well, it would stay intact where it's at. No. Our ozone would be...
If you fired the planet off, I think just all the air would fly off and we'd all suffocate.
You ever seen Spaceballs?
I've seen Spaceballs.
Okay. So think of where they open the atmosphere.
Yeah, they had the barrier holding the atmosphere in.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my password.
Yeah.
And it opens up the little hole. So imagine that, but you can pass through it. That's our ozone. So if you flick that ball fast enough, we would exit our own ozone far faster if that much force came towards the earth. So imagine somebody flicking a marble here. We would be 2 light years away and our ozone would be intact. And then
I don't think it'd be intact. I think anything
we need to get a hold of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let me know if my theory is correct, that our ozone, be it a free floating thing around the earth, the same way you have a balloon that constricts, around water and it snaps, the water stays in place because it's free moving. So imagine that, but you flick the earth, I think the ozone would stay intact. Not just 100%, but you know what I mean? Like most of the air would stay there. A lot of the particles and things that would be like pulling a freaking, what is that? The dining cloth.
The magician dining cloth.
Yeah, the dining cloth. That goes.
I think it'd rip with it. It would chase after, the planet. I don't think it would stay attached. Like gravity would keep it, but it can only keep so much. It's always a Looney Tunes thing with the, Wiley, Coyote and the, tablecloth. Everybody knows the tablecloth whip.
This right here, where the smoke stays and he's gone. That's it. That's what I'm talking about.
Have they Mythbustered that?
Yeah, I think they did. You hooked the motor on roller skates. Where's the smoke? See how the smoke is trailing him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So, like, I think the air would move less with less force than he would. Anyone in the comments below, let me know.
Yeah,
let me know if I'm telling you, I'm onto something here. Oh,
have you heard about the Harry Potter? And you shouldn't hate the new Harry Potter game because of J.K. Rowling's transphobia, but you should hate it because of the game's latent anti-Semitism.
What?
So in the game, you fight a bunch of like the goblins, and
is it out?
It's coming out next month. I believe it's very soon. But the goblins from the Harry Potter series
14 minutes. Hold on.
This is their big reveal trailer.
This is 14 minutes of gameplay.
At the famed school of
witchcraft and bullshit.
To harness it to destroy wizard kind, as you may be the one that decides the fate of the entire wizarding world. But before you can study magic and begin to solve these mysteries, you must create the witch or wizard you want to be.
Sorry.
The 4 Hogwarts houses: Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw.
It'd be funny if it shows.
Oh my god, this has got me onto a whole different thing that I have not talked about yet. The school.
Mm-hmm.
My wife would like me not to put out the school's name, so I'll block the school's name.
Ooh, yeah. I want to know any updates.
So I have contacted. I'm gonna let everybody know. Let me go to our dual screen. We'll get back to Harry Potter later. Just so you know, I love my kids' school. The teachers are great. People are great. I don't have many issues with the school itself. What I have is an issue with this new way of, how you say, trying to placate different ethnicities. And
they're trying to be inclusive, but it seems like it's
a really weird fucking way.
Yeah.
So any stupid parent like myself is going to read this, and I'll pop it up here. The elementary school decided to put houses together, similar to Harry Potter, to bring this shit up. And they have one called, I'll read it off my phone because I don't have it in front of me. So it says, here we go, house colors and shirts on Thursdays. Today, each student receives a wristband for their house and color to wear. Soon, each student will receive a house shirt to wear on Thursdays. Until the shirts come in, we encourage students and staff to wear their house colors if they do not have a house shirt from the previous launch. Then it goes into the elementary house system. Purpose. The purpose of the elementary house system is to promote a positive and welcoming environment in which students, staff, and community members feel a strong sense of belonging. This supports the mission in meeting diverse needs of all students and creating true community in which the students and staff belong. So here's my problem. You could have just had the names on these. You could have just had the names, but they had to put Dobrada, empathy, in quotations, Russian. Empathy is a quality of character that can change the world. Quote, Barack Obama. Then it goes to Haiti, peaceful, thoughtful, quotes, Arabic. Like, it's saying that peaceful and thoughtful are Arabic. That's the first thing I thought. I didn't think the word Haiti came from Arabic or that the quote came from Arabic, because the next quote is by fucking Ronald Reagan.
None of these quotes are from the nation or ethnicities associated with
the
any
name
of these places.
Supposedly is from where the race is coming from.
That's as surface level as you can get on anything.
It's a culture. I get it. Like Hawaii, I wouldn't say Hawaiian is a race. You know,
they're an indigenous people.
They're a culture, but then you have the natives. I don't even think they call it Hawaiian. They call it more.
They're a people. They're a separate ethnicity. Yeah, it's a hotly debated by the United States, but it's a group you don't want to pigeonhole into nothing.
Well, no, because I thought like they had a specific name that was not Hawaiian.
Hawaiian is the conquering name that they put on it. So I guess I'm trying to remember.
What I'm saying. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson is one of them. He is. What's the damn name, people? You're all gonna say it. It's on the tip of your tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. But basically, so it goes Dobrada, Haiti, Mahalo, Villarosa, Tiaga, and Pativ.
They're Polynesian?
Yeah, Polynesian. And then there's a couple other.
There's more specific outside of that.
Luna
Lilo?
There's a couple others. But I don't, none of them, I believe, say they're Hawaiian. You know what I mean? I don't think Hawaiian is we're African American or we're Polish or it's not Hawaiian. And if you say they're Hawaiian, then they kind of get offended. Because I've had friends who lived in Hawaii, not Hawaiian. And back when I was in the military and they served in the 25th, and they're like, yeah, I got Hawaii. Cool. And they never say Hawaii. It's all Awahi, or, there's a whole different language of talk. And I respect that. But to tell me that my kids have to join a certain course, class, whatever, that's supposed to be fun, I guess, if they just took the races off of it, like the cultural, like this is Russian, this is Arabic, this is Spanish, this is Filipino, this is Armenian, off of it. And as you guys see in the post, they have the name underneath the honor, respect, determination, perseverance, not under the name or my daughter is Tiaga. And then it says Tiaga, determination / perseverance, then Filipino. In the photo for the class, the elementary school, it is mainly Asian descended children. My daughter is half Korean. Asian descended children in this class. How is that? Let me go ahead and somewhat pick. I strongly believe whoever's in choice of this fucked up, because this to me just is classifying people based on their backgrounds, their culture, diversities. And even my daughter didn't know what the hell was going on. I cut the wristband off. If they send her home with a shirt, I'll burn it. I called the principal 3 times. I respectfully asked to have a conversation with you as to why this was written in a way that makes it seem very racist.
If it was framed, our new class system draws inspiration from multiple cultures, ethnicities, all sorts of stuff around the world. And then they mix and matched a bunch of stuff throughout. That could work. Make it less about that. But they are Russian, Russia, Hawaii,
Armenia, Filipino, Hawaiian, white,
and then they cram all the Asian kids in the same class.
And all the European kids are in the Russian class.
Yeah.
And the Hawaiian kids are a little of darker skin. So it's really fucking weird the way they did this. I cannot explain to you. I truly can't explain to you how pissed as a father I was. My wife was like, don't go there. Don't try and talk to them. I've not been that dad that has been so angered about something yet. This was that. I posted it to Instagram some of you have seen. I'm waiting for the backlash. I cannot be the only parent who's like, that shit is racist unless I'm just in a racist ass school. That kills me. I coming from somebody who's, I'm just saying, up until very recently, I was very close-minded on a lot of people. I wouldn't have given 2 shits about this 2 years ago. Definitely wouldn't have given 2 shits. But I didn't see my child as anything but a white kid. You know what I mean?
Just typical American kid.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you're going to grow up in 2 white parents. It'll be fine. It'll be perfectly fine you'll grow up the same way I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
Now I definitely see the disadvantages of growing up with a, let's say, not so privileged skin color. And she's quite of
she's very fair.
Very fair, but she's got some features that you can definitely tell she's of Asian descent. And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be privileged for her. She's not going to have the easiest time, even though she is a woman, and women typically have softer landing spots in school, things like that. But boy, it's just fuck, man, I just want the principal to give me 5 minutes on the phone to explain who is the idiot that came up with this marketing package and why it has to be centered on so many different races and cultures. Why can't it just be a house system?
Instead of like you're saying,
a marquee, a brand, an animal, something simple for them to lean on and be like, okay, this is exactly, they're the flying dragons. They're the, what's that damn show? They're the Paws of Fury. They're the Paw Patrol. They're the whatever. They're up to 6th grade. Mm-hmm. So grab a bunch of TV shows and grab a character and be like, oh, this is Peppa Pig. This is Peppa's house. This is Blue's Clues. Whatever. Dude, just grab something that's cultural to the media the kids ingest, and then be like, oh, this is, because Harry Potter wasn't about race.
About magic.
It's about magic. Sure, you had the snake, the griffin, the Hufflepuff, whatever, all that shit. But you never asked where Hufflepuff came from. You never said, hey, who's Hufflepuff? They talked about it in the show briefly, like where the houses originated from, but it was never cultural, based on the skin color, the people that came from there, the type of shit they went through, good, bad,
but
and
it's
ugly.
even your placement in the house is the house that will benefit you the most, and not even necessarily, people say it's based on characteristics. You put a bunch of smart people in one class, it's not going to help anyone. You grab a couple
smart Slytherins, you got smart Hufflepuffs.
Everybody's got qualities from all the houses.
Yeah, it is not one way or the other. And I understand J.K. Rowling's always in a bunch of shit because she's got some very upfront, like she's a
fucked up
she's
worldviews
a billionaire.
on things.
Let her have her fucked up worldviews and like trash trans rights or whatever. Just mute her ass. Mute her. And I promise you, when you mute these people, they do not affect your daily living. There is one person recently on Facebook that has just been coming at my throat. I've never met them, never talked to them. That George Edward guy, apparently it's a fake account. But this guy was talking or chatting a bunch of shit in groups, saying that I was a piece of shit human being. The guy's never met me, but he's got an axe to grind. Not the store, not any of my businesses, nothing like that, but me personally. And in my personal life, the only people I've ever done wrong to was when I was on drugs. And I've made amends to all those people. Everything else is either family drama or the occasional go fuck yourself. Most of those people understand when I tell them to go fuck themselves. It's very clear. Here's what you've done. Here's what I am. Or I'll come back and be like, you know what? I was wrong. I had a shit day. That's what it is. But I muted the guy. And apparently it's made him even more pissed off.
Because he can't interact with your content, which is how he's going to get a hold of you.
Probably. But I can't wait for from the last episode to get a hold of us. I'm waiting because we said 1 month. So if you weren't aware, in the last episode, we had a crazy Yelper that contacted us a month after a quote. And we gave her just like, hey, we need more information. Here's your quote. And then it went to shit. We didn't respond. But apparently they take months to respond because they're never on the app. So we're waiting to see what happens there. Mm-hmm. It's been one hell of a week, let alone that. And then, well, we finally got the insurance money today. I haven't even let that sink in. So the insurance is finalized from November, and we're already due for another burglary. By statistics, it's
happen
once
tomorrow.
every 9 months.
Cry if I come to work.
Every 9 months we get burglarized.
If I even get the phone call from you at 2 a.m, we get burglarized, I'm just going to cry.
I'm calling it now. It's every 9 months we get burglarized. And we have had probably 3 or 4 false alarms, but twice the fucking door was left unlocked.
Because we're at 10 months now, almost a whole entire year.
And I'm going to mention this. There's been a couple of times the door's been left unlocked. Caught really quickly, usually. Somebody tries to lock up or whatever. The key jams because it's been broken into so many times. Mm-hmm. So it's a defect of the door, not any personnel issues. Point being, shit happens. But other than that, it's only Monday. It's going to be a great fucking week. Opportunities on the rise. But man, the world is coming into a pile of shit right now. Like I saw a clip of Russian soldiers being stingered in helicopters that were firing down to the ground in Ukraine. And Ukrainian soldiers were just stingering the helicopters and the planes. Mm-hmm. Took out 2 of them. And I'm like, these are fucking regular people. This is like the show Falling Skies. You ever seen it?
I watched a couple episodes, but I wasn't super into it.
Well, Falling Skies was like post-apocalyptic, aliens attack, world ends, and it looks like Ukraine now. And somebody had also referenced that Ukraine looks like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare 2.
It looks like a Call of Duty map. It's crazy.
It's nuts how similar it looks.
Modern Warfare.
Exactly, Modern Warfare. And I was like, man, imagine the fucking grocery store clerk went to Big Five. Imagine the Big Five employee having to shoot a Stinger missile from the top of his house.
I've seen freaking videos of the fucking Hot Topic girl holding the launcher, and then the Dairy Queen dude popping missiles in the front. Like,
what the fuck is the world coming to? They're not
crazy
soldiers.
Shit.
They're normal people.
It's literal people. I saw fucking your chunky uncle jogging down the street taking water to some people who have been fire got in their eyes or whatever, and he's just jugs of water, running things. Like everyday people out there fighting for their damn lives.
It's fucking sad. And then you've got our editors are in Armenia, where there is like a civil war brewing right now. There are troops that go town to town murdering people, just washing in, that they're given a few weeks notice to evacuate before the troops get there. And if they don't, there's people who have gone and like burned themselves in their home, killed their families because they know they're going to die. Like, imagine you built a house with your bare hands, 60 years later, having to light it with kerosene under a crutch, one arm, pouring gas, then lighting yourself on fire on camera.
So they can't take your stuff, take your family harm anyway.
Exactly.
I have a friend who lives in a South American country where gangs are very prevalent. And for
favela.
I mean, he's got a decent living, but it's one of those sketchier countries, you know. I don't want to give out too much info.
Just give me the country. Okay.
And for a couple months there, every day was like waiting for him to shoot a message to make sure he wasn't kidnapped by guards or something.
You know, they have
our guards, gangs.
The thing I hate about Vice, the show on YouTube, is they give you this breadth of information. You know, you get a tidbit of their stuff.
You got pink cocaine?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, what the fuck is that, right?
All I know about cocaine is if it's not straight cocaine, you don't take it.
Well, apparently cocaine is now party-sized or party-ized.
It's what they cut it with ecstasy.
It is fentanyl.
That's the bad one. You don't take fentanyl.
It's the best one.
It's the best one. It is the hardest to regulate.
It's the hardest to regulate. It's the fastest to come down. It's not worth the penny you spend on it. It is the fastest high, the fastest withdrawal. But it is the most euphoric feeling I have personally ever felt. I have never felt heaven on earth when not on fentanyl. Like my son's childbirth was probably the happiest moment that I've experienced to date being born. Like, it was pure joy. Everyone said it was going to be like a moment that would change me forever. No, it was just pure happiness. But I can honestly say with a straight face that being high is a different level of happiness.
It's made to do that. It's made to fire your brain. It's full everything.
But I realize that changing those chemical receptors in the brain is not a good thing. You can't program a person like a computer, because imagine overheating a computer when we try and overclock it.
Well, it's like taking you have something rated for AAAs and you cram some D cells in there. Oh boy, it's going to perform.
If it's rated for 12 volt and we put 19 at 120, yeah, you're going to have
a glorious 8 seconds. That's it.
That's my point. So like from standard thought, you're like, oh shit, this is bad. Everyone should be told this is bad. I come from a mindset where like, unless you know, you're not going to really know. You know, you got to have hands-on experience. And I can say that it's definitely, there's a realistic side to my happiness. And then there's the injected or smoked dragon chasing side of happiness. But when my son was born, it was just like, I'd never felt unencumbered joy like that. Even with my wife.
Non-substance.
Non-substance. Not a drink of liquor, nothing. Just pure happiness. Trying to sit there, skin to skin, coddling him. It was a good moment. But shit like this is what Vice puts out that gives people, this isn't a infomercial. This is like a commercial on how cool this shit is. And they really fucked up because it starts with these women.
Starts with hot girls. I already love it. I don't love drugs.
I almost hit the Spacebar again.
If you're still putting regular white cocaine up your nose, you're basically living in the 90s.
So, so basically, I'm going to mute this for copyright. But basically, he goes through.
What's with off-Broadway Daniel Radcliffe?
So off-Broadway Daniel Radcliffe does these interviews, and then he shoots them talking about how it's made, how you can mix it, how they mix it. There's a bunch of people that take like 2C, which is pink cocaine, which is fentanyl and cocaine mixed. And it is ridiculous how they make this. They go out and they ask everybody, have you done it? Everyone's done it. It's the hottest thing right now. They meet up with some cartel leaders. They all have these fancy fucking masks. That
it's designer.
After this video came out, these masks tripled online. Tripled in sales.
Mm-hmm. There's
a whole company devoted to these fucking pastel geo-shaped masks now. And so, like, they go through, hey, test it, try it. So they force him to test it, or they were going to shoot him in the face. So they forced him to do it, and now he's freaking out because there's, like, drones in the air. They shoot and kill. And, they take him home. He goes through another day to somebody else who's cooking it. It's, like, pink mica bullshit, whatever. And he is not addicted to that shit, but this guy is now addicted to crack cocaine and ecstasy. So he smokes that while he's doing his shit, tries to give it to him. He just starts mixing the cards and the powder. He's got like an old iPhone 6 here.
I like that he's crushing it with the butt of a gun.
Oh, yeah. Steel.
Solid. Yeah.
Steel. So they mix it up. It's like white powder, pink powder. And then they meet the queen of 2C, the queen who created this. And it's all one giant fucking advert for these masks, this party lifestyle. And the guy is doing drugs. I hope he's never on Vice again after this, because showing that he was doing drugs is like telling kids.
Throw a little disclaimer up that he did drugs to not die, no video or something.
I do not endorse drugs.
No.
Alan, put that a stamp. We don't endorse drugs. Stamp. Boom. So this guy and this channel is now endorsing fucking drugs. So he goes to a bunch of people. This guy makes his own drugs now. I think this guy now having this Geo mask on, I think Vice is giving it to people, is giving the masks to people to hide their face. So he makes his own at home. This guy is like 4 feet tall. I think he's a fucking kid. He's got no tattoos on the hand, nothing. He's got to be super young. But he's like, touching his face, doing his thing. He's like, yeah, it tastes good. It's so good. Oh, this will last me a few days, blah, blah, blah.
He did some cocaine cereal.
Dude, it goes from there to this giant fucking party where it looks like they're having this pride celebration. This is back in June. And it just goes to show how much they're pushing the narrative of like, oh, they're all having fun. Nobody's dying. If it was me, I would have showed the death, the corruption, the fucking bullshit.
If you're going to show how cool this all is to make the video thrilling, you got to show the fucking... Yeah, and here's a guy dead in the gutter.
Not this giant lifestyle, live on this peak.
Those were all hot young people. Where's the old guy that's hooked on this that's going to have a fucking heart attack and die?
It's crazy. This is what Vice does. Because most of their content right now with 16 million viewers is...
Drugs. Diaper, fetish.
Okay, so out of the last drugs, 10, let's do the last 10, right? Or 12. So there's meth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 12 are drug related. That's crazy. In some way or another. So tell me they're not
4 more in the next 5 videos.
And they get the most views, 1.9. 2.2 for the new cocaine. Yeah. Whereas crystal meth has 458 7 days ago. Where's the 2C one? How many views does the 2C one have?
Smoking crack mixed with human bones? What the fuck?
So I'm saying I definitely just had.
The carbon purifies it, makes it better for you.
What? 3.4 million fucking views from June 4th. So that's $60,000 minimum, at least, on bad CPC.
Not counting ads.
Louis Rossman was on live yesterday showing people what I've never watched a live on YouTube until it popped up and notified me from his second channel he was doing a live. He made $43,000 on like 20 million views about a Subway grate. Him and his girlfriend broke up apparently. But he has RandomLive, which has 1,200 videos, 88,000 subscribers. But he was fucking around yesterday and going over and talking about all the shit that was wrong, I guess. Let me see if this was... No, this isn't it. This is not the live stream. But yeah, so yesterday he was talking about this grate. This right here. You got 23 million views.
Homeless proof grate?
It's 1 minute, 44 seconds. 1 minute and 44 seconds. He made $43,000. I can't get copyright.
Any more proof that New York City was designed by assholes. I just thought I would put this here. This is from my old neighborhood. I used to live right around Mars.
60,000 comments.
Good Lord.
What the fuck? Like, seriously, I don't get it. And by the way, to anyone who ever wants to sleep on a grate because they're warm or whatever, you could absolutely sleep on that. That is not uncomfortable whatsoever. Those things are like stubby.
You gotta make it spiky to get anyone to stop. Stubby's fine. You just put a jacket under you.
Exactly. I understand the homeless people like are a problem, but there's like slant down spots where apparently you can't have a bunch of stuff. It all kind of like slides. But they could definitely sleep on there for sure. But boy, the problem and then the solution.
It almost looks like it would cradle you at a certain point.
So the solution got 500,000 views. But goddamn, he got $43,000 from that one video for 1 minute and 44 seconds.
That's crazy.
That's nuts. We're putting out short form content, everybody, 2 minutes at a time. It'll be on a
just need one to make it a year.
During business hours, gaming, and all kinds of shit. There's just so much stupid shit going on in the world. Counterfeit vape cartridges, deadly world. What is YouTube showing me right now? A kid with declining health because insurance denied his meds. Jesus Christ. Bunch of gambling shit. We know I'm an addict. We appreciate it. And then, oh yeah, there's a bunch of paperwork coming out and people trying to back Trump because, you know, Trump's on his fucking...
Still the Mar-a-Lago.
They knew about it. Nobody cares. We all know. I don't know how many times we bash it in. The government sucks. The government is not... Once you elect them, they neglect you. That's what it is. Yeah. They're not here for you.
They're locked in
Do
for a
shit
couple
yourself.
years. Good.
Stay within the bounds of the law. You'll be fine. Don't be a fuckwit. The majority of these things are just... I think the YouTube algorithm has really centered on short form content, paying out people as much money to try and make that short form content because most people are doing only shorts versus like their long form content.
And then you cut their pay so someone younger and willing to do the same for less
I think
comes along.
Lewis said something about like, well, with the $43,000 he made or $41,000, he was going to pay that to somebody or give them a change of their life to start doing short form content for him or just content. And then that didn't happen. But it was awkward because I had met Erica last year and they seemed like a good couple, like they had their shit together. But even though he was at the parties alone, which was a little weird, but then, so I think I reached out to him about, we had this space and we were going to do something more learned about the front end and maybe run some classes on how to do shit. Mm-hmm. And then I can't remember what happened. My give a fuck meter just broke. And from then on, I was like, you know what? Helping other people is not really like my 100% time thing. Besides, I had the babysitting job and all kinds of things going on. But mainly, I see that Lewis is now starting to get to the real, like, more conservative viewer of it all. Like, here's the drama behind being a well-rounded person. And he had made a comment about when he comes home, he doesn't want a woman that says, hey, you shouldn't have raised all that campaign fund money because it's going to be having to be rejected and returned to the people because it's over the cap. And when I come home and see that, I don't want a woman to be like, I fucking told you so, you're an idiot, da, da, da. And it sounds like he was in a quite abusive relationship. It reminded me of Justine and myself. I was like, God damn, it's weird. A man of that caliber. So socially, he is on a plane like here. He's just, doesn't matter what he does, everyone thinks he's the GOAT. I don't know what he's done. He's good at his job, absolutely. He's well-versed.
It's great at what he does, but he just seems like a dork to me. But
opinions.
Look at where he's in his life and where I'm at.
He claims he's an autistic type of person. I understand that. I just see him as a regular guy. I don't give a shit that he's like some like, here he is, because I've met a lot of famous people in my time, or people who got up there, and they're all the same as where nobody changes. It's not like, oh my God, then they become some holier than thou thing. It's just you have more eyes on you. And I think he has so many eyes at this level that now he's starting to see like, oh, it doesn't matter what I fucking do. It's all going to end up the same way anyway. So now he's moving to Texas.
Might as well enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah,
enjoy where you're living.
Save some money. Fuck the politics. I'm dealing with even though I'm not so vocal about it, I'm dealing with just similar politics to what Rossman's dealing with. I'm just not trying to have the government in my city and state come at me because I do not have the backing that someone like Rossman has. And sure, I'll shit on the Department of Labor all the time. I'll shit on the Department of Insurance. Well, technically the Department of Insurance helped me get my claim finalized. So thank you. File complaints, makes work. But there's just so many little things with California that suck balls. Big latex testicles.
Not even real balls?
No.
Fake balls?
No, because it's
worse.
Vegans. I don't know if they're vegan or not.
If you have consent, it's vegan.
CJ, the guy who did the falling prices stuff, apparently had a woman come up to him the other day and ask him if your bacon double cheeseburger is vegan. I told him he should have said yes.
I think that counts as a hate crime or something. You can't. Or a poisoning, or you can't do that to people.
Is it like religious preference?
It
cannot be weighed the same as religious preference.
It falls under the like halal, non-halal, or halal, or haram. That's what it's called.
Haram. Yeah. Like, this is safe.
Yeah.
I can't see somebody like that, because if you all knew this person I'm talking about, he's very blue collar, redneck-ish, like big dick swinging, wants to be big man on campus, business ideas, lots going on in his head. Not a bad guy. He's just very scatterbrained at times. Love you, CJ. Point being, a little fuckery would have saved him so much time. He's actually the one who helped me out, because that George Edwards guy that was stalking me for a bit and made all his claims, he was friends with him because he adds so many people in Sacramento for his new burger business. And for someone like that, let me take you back. CJ wanted me to invest in the barbecue joint he was trying to open. He wanted a mobile food truck. Needed $25,000. I said, okay, give me a perspective. What do you see yourself doing in 3, 6, 9, 12 months? Pick a quarter, a year, or 2 years. What are your goals? What do you want to do? How are you going to get there with this money? Couldn't come up with it. Didn't know how to set it up, even present the idea. Just wanted to talk and expected a check. He'd never done business before, so I understand we get a lot of people that ask us for money. A lot. It's not always bad ideas, but sometimes it's people that cannot structure those ideas to a realistic manner.
And it's not even that they have to make a perspective or a business statement or any formal report. If they can give us a binder of their thoughts over the next year, then they've accomplished it.
Send me a notepad. Like, you can airdrop me your notes and be like, here's what I want to do. Here's what the funds are for.
You need slightly more than I don't know. I'll wing it every time.
Yeah, so this was one of those I'll wing it. And I'm like, I can't do that, but you can't.
I intend to get a second pitmaster. I'd like to have 3 trucks by the end of the year. Just little outlines or something.
And it's weird because a lot of people do the small business thing. And recently I realized how convenient running an LLC is. I did not understand that then it's instant approval for credit. It's instant approval for loans. You can start your business very low with low risk. But a lot of people just don't understand that. And it's insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was it with the Made by Love? I think it was $75,000 within 24 hours of opening a bank account. That's
that they just offered you?
Yeah, just offered. Approved, offered. There's no credit.
You put in the work, you follow the steps. Here's your minimum offer.
It's with 2% APR or variable fixed rate or whatever, 2 to 4. That's nuts to have that much capital. I started a business with $400 in a heat gun. Dude.
A table, a chair.
And so many people are in our Facebook groups because we started out as an electronics store. And it's one of those things where the mentality of kids now is, I need 50 grand and I need a location, licenses, all this. I didn't have any of that. And I'll reiterate this. If you ever want to start a business, just do it. Make sure you are legal when you do it. Because the first thing I had to do was file for an operating license under the DCA, Department of Consumer Affairs. That's all I needed until I made so much. And then I had to do a business license for a physical address. But all that was easy to get. But just make sure you carry insurance. Like I'm dealing with somebody right now that keeps telling me as long as they make under $500 a job and they're bonded, that they can be a handyman. Not the case. You must be licensed. You must have certificates or equal workmanship to show that you are proven to do this. Mm-hmm. Easy enough just to go to the DCA and be like, okay, what status are you going for? You're going for home repair, handyman services, whatever. It's like $400. So do a job to fix the door, $400, go get the license. Make sure it was like a 2-hour job, whatever.
Yeah.
And then go get insurance. But a bond isn't going to do anything for you. That's in case of an accident or something. But if you fuck somebody's stuff up, you're not going to be bonded. Bonds can...
It's going to disqualify or
not count enough. But, trying to work with people, there's so much little things, but I have high hopes for the next week, especially with the new camera. Sorry for the views, everybody. But we'll see you all later. Remember... Don't be shitty. Be happy. Share the video. Let your friends know. If you can't listen or if you can't view us, you can always listen on Spotify, Apple Podcast, RSS feed, Rumble. We're everywhere.
If you hate looking at us, listen to us.
My beautiful face. I'm going to go for a trim and a shave tomorrow.
I really need this.
Once we get the new cameras up and running. Oh, yeah. It's going to be swole. All right, everybody. Enjoy yourselves. Have fun. We'll see you all later.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past. But knowing me, my DeLorean will